What's going on YouTube? What's going on Twitch? What is going on D Live and Facebook Live? I hope everyone is very lively today yourselves, and we're gonna hang out, see what's going on in the cryptosphere, and see if this volume is better on everyone's end. See on the lag time, on the residing turnaround. So we're gonna go through some market cap of what Bitcoin's looking like very briefly. We're just going to go look at like what the value is, what the value of the top 10 cryptocurrencies are, what the top 10 losers are today on the cryptocurrency charts, who's tanking, who's being sold off. Then we're going to go through a piece of mainstream news of what's going on in institutional, like when you see Robinhood exchange with cryptocurrencies type news. Let me know if this is too loud for you in the chat. All sorts of different chats. So also, I must not forget, subscribe, smash the like, and now leave a follow, squeeze a lemon, drop a Lambo. I'm not really about the Lamborghinis myself. Some people might be, but you can drop a Lemon-gini, no, Ninja-gini. Is that what it is? Ninja-ginis. There's so many, in all reality, I do development work. So in the aspect of things is that I see thousands of tokens, thousands and thousands of tokens, crazy amounts of tokens. They're just ridiculous amounts of tokens that have no value, but we do see value in content creators and what they're being given and what is assetable back into liquidity of another asset like Lino. So we see the same thing. Within development work in the TRON mainnet. We're gonna go through a couple pieces of indie blockchain games today that are based in the blockchain, because there's a lot of indie gamers in this space. So maybe I should keep like volume up a little bit. I should keep some music playing in the background or something. I'm not really sure. See while we go through things. That might be a little too loud. I'm not really sure. All right, there I am. Trying to find myself for one moment. Realized I put myself down there at the screen the other day. Going through this. Okay, so I want to jump back off of this blockchain part. That's going to be a blockchain game for all children. Essentially, I see a lot of indie children, Minecraft players in this blockchain space would like to play blockchain-based games from indie games like Minecraft, three-dimensional ones. I have a couple in there as well. But let's start there. If you are all into cryptocurrency, you would like to find someone you like cryptocurrency-based apparel, go ahead and go over to cryptoandproud.com. You can find Bitcoin, all sorts of TRON apparel. I'm going to go into the TRON apparel, see what's going on in the TRON side. So if no one knows what TRON is, just like you have Lino for content creators, you have BitTorrent, BTT for content creators, you have TRON, TRX for development creators, as well as all sorts of asset commutable settlement of payments with a cryptocurrency like TRON as a legacy cryptocurrency, because it's its own blockchain. Basically, you see Bitcoin with its own technology, Litecoin that's split from Bitcoin with its own technology, Ethereum with its own technology, TRON that's branched from Ethereum with its own implemented technology that's scaling with its own diverse technology within the concept of Solidity, what is the language of coding and development of how we build these games, how we build different technologies of fintech applications and decentralized applications like wallets, how we store our cryptocurrency. I'll have links of all sorts of these things. We'll go through different wallets. I can even show you at a certain variant time on the news, on the phone, on the screen, right there, my phone, and we'll go through a wallet on a function cryptocurrency, and we'll probably eventually see Lino in there as well. So I'm going to throw eventually my referral link into that part. You know, I realized I said I'm going to turn up some music, but that's on the other window. So let's go through the news. Let's keep going through the news. So you can find TRON, TRX, and BitTorrent on TRX Market, TRX.market, the secure cryptocurrency tokens for marketing and finding BitTorrent. And we'll go over to not a car marketplace. We're going to go over to there we go. No, yeah, eventually I'll throw some music in the background, but we'll talk about what's going on. I don't really know. I watched some of the, let me know who watched some of that PewDiePie thing, because that thing was actually ridiculous. What he was doing, talking with people like that, communicating with people, and seeing people like cry and stuff like that. It was pretty intense watching. So we have Bitcoin at $5,103. I need to stop knocking this thing because it's making a vibration. I apologize. Ethereum, which you have for development of assets of like decentralized gaming applications. We have, let's see, USDT Tether, which is a stable coin equal to the USD dollar, has the same backing, and is in the TRON mainnet as a smart contract. So the technology is a smart contract, which is Solidity scripting based technology, and has certain protocols that allow that Tether functions within the TRON blockchain as a TRON TVM, which is a TRON virtual machine, which is how a blockchain works and how cryptocurrency essentially works. I can further go into depth of that eventually, further on in time, or I also have links on YouTube in a past channel. We're migrating into this channel for all things blockchain and how the TVM work. How does a TRON virtual machine works? So if you are into technology and learning how essentially a fintech type, basically financial settlement type asset, if you look at e-commerce, working in e-commerce and settling something, that you obtain something and give something back. Essentially, the technology behind that is immutable with blockchain. So when you see things like MasterCard shutting down because they're an outage of servers and stuff like that, well, you can't really, if you have an immutable network of chain of decentralized servers that are all functioning together of independent, whether rather than one corporate server house like that, or they're trying to function back up with the power down, well, then blockchain is really immutable because it just keeps running. It cannot stop with a network of decentralized nodes running globally. So we are spreading a global decentralized network of nodes for developers to work and build within a blockchain like TRON, functioning with the TRON TRX, and as well as bandwidth. Now we are developing that. The old concept of bandwidth on the internet is actually not that old. It's actually the fastest, most highest speed concept of especially peer-to-peer and protocol. When you look at bandwidth and the BitTorrent protocol and uTorrent for peer-to-peer sharing for content. So when we look at file sharing content and peer-to-peer decentralized content, as we were looking at, like here on you see on aspect of blockchain type applications, gaming, Twitch, like that, the crowd of Twitch, the crowd migrating of Twitch into DLive, and then the centralized part of development and the high-speed protocol of BitTorrent with things like BeLive and the community of what that's going to be moving forward like that, and a lot of aspects in decentralized technologies. And that's how blockchain is. So we have these charts there of the financial aspects when we're looking at financials of what are these cryptocurrencies actually worth. So we're going to go through certain types of different types of games like that, decentralized games, where you can find like the tokens on certain exchanges where like Chibi Fighters, they have the Chibi Fighters with the actual creatures on the blockchain, where you find them and you work with them and you use them in the game. So you can find TRON, TRX, or on other marketplaces for like Ethereum or Bitcoin or USDT or USD or different cryptocurrencies, as well as fiat or real asset value, monetary monies, paired with cryptocurrencies like Tron and Bitcoin and Ethereum, what have you. So when we look at that now, so many people said we're gonna Bitcoin is trash, everything's trash, but when you now see Ameritrade, the implementation of announcing into a regulated exchange for cryptocurrency trading. So we saw Robinhood. Now we see the first largest. Well, I mean, you see it in you know, NASDAQ a bit. They have their future, or not, they don't have the future. Well, they have the. Pretty sure it's a. I thought it was a futures. I haven't. You know what? I haven't followed what they did in NASDAQ so much after a certain point. I thought the GBTC or what have you was some sort of commoditable asset within the stock market exchange that they're trading like that. Shorting, basically, I don't think it's like shorting or something. Or playing with the Bitcoin institutionally. Now we see institutionally. So let's talk about that. When we talk about cryptocurrency, when we talk about what it gives it value, how can a cryptocurrency be value? What is going to be using it? Well, when you see people from Twitch migrating over into a space like this, migrating over into blockchain and using these types of technologies, well, it only makes sense. It only makes sense that indie gamers, you see these people playing Minecraft, and I have a couple of other games we're going to go into after this, that will use games like War Riders, games like Eggies, games like you see the largest cryptocurrency type game that first started was a decentralized, which was CryptoKitties, and with millions and millions of dollars, massive amounts of asset value. And you see the same thing paired with indie gaming, both kind of decentralized areas, institutionally and business-wise, and on payment and fintech and technology and gaming technology. So you see a skin sold for so much in things. In the example of Fortnite, different types of assets. So over in this aspect, you see this type of aspect, these types of vehicles. So these types of vehicles is the games that are functioning on blockchain, the games that are functioning with the cryptocurrency such as Ethereum and TRON, TRX, and Bitcoin to obtain these types of assets. And once you own these assets, essentially it is immutable that you have when you use like a debit card, obviously you use a pin, or you use a chip, or you use what have you, use smart pay on your devices. They seize your phone, working with your face these days, to pay for things. So now you see something that an asset like this, but still, if a network like this works in the same way. So now we're seeing these things being worked on the web, but now you can start to play these on smartphones. You can start to play decentralized applications on your smartphones on the go as well with your cryptocurrency type wallets. So when you're functioning cryptocurrency wallets, is what I'm talking about in that type of technology, you are on the go playing with technology and blockchain type things. So this actually vehicle you bought and you're playing with and you're designing and you're customizing to yourself, and each piece of it is a different blockchain type asset of smart contract per se. That's the technology called smart contract, solidity based. Just like if you JavaScripting, HTML. Now, smart contract solidity, that is the technology that we're talking here on the blockchain, and that's for the encoding that it is working, that the cryptocurrency is working on the blockchain. This vehicle is a cryptocurrency. This vehicle is an asset in the game that you bought and you own, and only anyone knows that you own it. And if you need to feel that you want to go ahead and invest into it and scale it to something that's worth more than what you originally bought it for, and then you sell it to another individual who needs it for their team or something, and you both are all competing together, well then fine. That's what you're doing in this type of immutable space. But what it does is you can transfer just from my smartphone right here. I'm going to send you my vehicle and all of its assets with it. I'm sending you all of that on the blockchain. And now you own that in your wallet. And now you're logging into the decentralized game on your end, and you're playing this video game. You're playing this with your vehicle. So this is a certain aspect in the introduction of how we see things like even Fortnite could even use blockchain. The skins could be blockchain assets. I can transfer, I can own my skin right on my phone securely with my own password, my seed, certain types of words. And I'm going to be dropping links of past videos, other people's videos as well. And we'll be hosting other people's videos who want to have great open content of learning how to use cryptocurrency based wallets that can also function. And we're seeing real actual monies as well into these wallets, transferring into Bitcoin from real monetary monies, and then using them in decentralized games as such like this, using them in e-commerce and settlement payments. If you want to start a store, e-commerce, and settle payments with Bitcoin, cross-chain type cryptocurrencies, exotic cryptocurrencies like TRON TRX that's used for development of video games. As such, when you're getting TRX to purchase this vehicle, which you originally obtained from Bitcoin, that's where we're seeing institutional value. That's where we're seeing real world value. Let me move that because I don't want to update right now, because we don't even really use Adobe so much like that on the OS X. So that's where we see an interesting aspect of things, social media, content sharing, where we're really going to see implementation of self-fulfillment of people playing games together. We're all playing. You're playing these games here on the blockchain. I'm just hanging out with you, and then also, I'm hanging out in the chat, for example. I'm hanging out in the chat here in DLive, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and airdrop you a Ninja Guinea. I'm going to drop you an asset that's a blockchain asset. And if that blockchain asset is on a certain mainnet blockchain, then I can drop it in a channel, for example. You see, I've already seen it in other apps. I can drop you tokens, a certain blockchain token that's worth, and it has another technology tokens built into it that forms this whole vehicle, tokenized together basically. Different tokens and then the actual asset of the vehicle. So you see like its weapons, its tires, whatever, are different tokens of that vehicle. And you purchase these different tokens, and I'm sending you these tokens right from my phone over to you, right over into applications and airdrops. I like to call these things like Ninja Guinea, Ninja Jet. I'm saying it correctly now because lemons and the diamonds and the ice creams, those are like airdrops. I'm airdropping you something. Great content. Here you go. I'm airdropping you this. You take it. Here's further, we're seeing things like this on other applications decentralized applications in the TRON mainnet, things, vehicles that we have for video games that we as developers are creating all together on this mainnet, dropping tokens to people that are blockchain based. I own that vehicle. It's right here on my phone. Here, I know I own it because I bought it. And I own it with my algorithms. I can even have these cryptocurrency wallets function where I look at it with my phone just the same as bank wallets and things like that. But and then I go ahead and I send you my vehicle because you want to buy it. It's with USDT, Bitcoin, TRON TRX is the exact asset that was used to build these type of vehicles like that, things like that. And you see other games like Chibis, the same main nets. So you see Lino right now is in this test net. So we've been developing on these main nets, and Lino, for this strict share content of what seemingly what I'm seeing as a really good live of the Twitch crowd, crossed into the and YouTube crowd crossed into the DLive platform here. So you see things like that. Oh, let's go back to that. So different creatures. Again, once more, I showed you a marketplace. Here's a marketplace. Right now, you have a certain asset of that video game. That video game Chibis we're about to go look through. Assets that function on the different technologies. So this is interesting though. This I definitely find interesting. We're going to be seeing. Let's read about that. They have this. They bought this Iris X, and then we're going to go into Chibis. We'll talk about that because we're just kind of hanging out. We're just streaming on this DLive platform for the news. So, what role will TD Ameritrade play in Iris X? TD Ameritrade will be working with Team Iris X as they develop and launch their cryptocurrency trading products. This strategic investment is yet another way to demonstrate our ongoing commitment to innovation and bring our clients to best-in-class investing and trading experience. So I was about to stop reading that but I want to fully regard the paragraph and state that they're building a cryptocurrency exchange. So developers and the team of their products are building a secure, based on a certain type of technology and functioning, basically, I'll just go ahead and say it. They're going to build what's called nodes. Nodes run Bitcoin, nodes run Ethereum. You have to, as your computer, you can build a node in your computer that runs Bitcoin where transactions run through your node. So another person in the world can function, and you incentivize that you running that node. You are running transactions from that, but you have to have ability of development, engineering, understanding of contract engineering, and it's like a platform like TRON or Ethereum for how we're building and connecting these digital assets like skins you see in Fortnite, like I was saying before, together into blockchain, harnessing that together from the user side to what you see on the encoder side. That's actually, and then furthermore, that's building a node that's incentivizing the transactions are going through it. We are incentivized for running the node, and then you are transacting with the Bitcoin that's obtaining these assets that are secure. So if you're just playing on a regular platform, so if you're able to build this eventually into like things like platforms like Xbox, PlayStation, working into these games like that, which is why not? It's all within the touch of technology. In working of the user, and that the user actually knows as well that they can experience and use the asset of blockchain, of technology, again, once more, networks like that. And there's also, we saw mining the Bitcoin caused so much energy harnessing that the ability of how can we do sustainable energy within process of fluctuating and moving Bitcoin into institutional use like that. So now you see things like what they're talking about. They're building nodes. They're building secure nodes. Probably, I would think they would build their own nodes, or maybe they have a service that builds nodes, whatever the company's protocols they're doing within themselves. Ethereum nodes, TRON nodes for all cryptocurrencies like this. So we'll probably see whichever cryptocurrencies they decide to use. So if they decide to go, okay, well, there's institutional use with a cryptocurrency such as TRON, we're going to use it on our platform because we see a use of value in liquidity with connection of USDT Tether smart contract that just migrated into TRON from the Omni layer, which is another blockchain layer based upon in the aspects of the Bitcoin protocol layer that but is not as fast, so as TRON's layer so when you want to work with gaming, you want to have high speed and decentralized high speed of yourself in your assets and loading time, then and with bandwidths, which is the solving aspect of liquidity, solving of speed of an asset like TRON and technology, then you have the ability of having your gaming aspect of things like that connected to an institutional market like TD Ameritrade that will have like an asset that has, they would think, okay, well, we have a thought of why we would have this, a logical thought of this makes sense that people need this to obtain gaming things that they're building and using in games because that's what they're buying on the web for games. So we have a use case for this. So this is why the Ameritrade sees the value, because they're going to do what? They're going to make trade fees. Obviously, they're going to make whatever you need to obtain from them in trade fees for what you need for your assets. That's why, or institutional, actually investors who also have IDs for these things. So if you have a certain, essentially like you need to get this asset, but you also have, essentially it's no different than having, your skins in Fortnite, but if you're, you need to have your parents' authority because you're at the certain age. We need to have that. Ability to obtain a Fortnite skin that costs so much money. It's no different. You have to obtain the cryptocurrency through the helps of your family, your mother and father, to obtain what you want for gaming and blockchain gaming like that. So we can go talk about that. So you see things all on the spectrum of indie gamings, war riders, even down to you see a lot of apps like Wiz Khalifa's Kush growing things like crypto cannabis strains. Now you see the same things like digital crypto cannabis strains and blockchain strains, blockchain creatures that fight each other. Let's see what else we have. You have Neo World. You see like the RPG based 3D dimensional and MMA virtual worlds, what they're also doing. You're putting on the VRs. We're working with the blockchain, but this whole entire world, you bought a building in the world, and it is a protocol of blockchain. You bought an asset that you own. Once more, I can fizzle it down into my wallet. I don't own it. If it's lost like that, it's gone. If you lose your password, it's gone. If you lose your phone and you can restore it on another device and you have the backup keys, fine. Just like you can turn your credit card on and off on your bank mobile wallets. Again, these are the aspects of digital things. But the thing with the difference is with people are going, so what? Like all these things are like, you're talking about like what, I own it or something. I own it. It's immutable that I own it. Right. It's immutable that you own it, but it's immutable that you also own your bank card, right? Because it's physically in your hand. It's in your purse, your wallet, your satchel. It's there, and then you're using a machine, but that digital number on the machine is still, that is actually a ledger. That's the technology behind it, and is maybe something that someone could, there's always firewalls on things, so it's highly unlikely, but change that digital number, right? I change that digital number on the screen, or I put in a false screen that says a digital number that then can talk with the money side of things, that then messes up, that says something. That's the scary aspect of financial things. But when you look at blockchain in a secure, audited, fully layered based and as strong like Bitcoin's node layers, TRON's node layers, for this technology and building, as a developer, as an even person that's using the development of the games themselves, it's there and it makes sense, because it can't be tampered with. You can't necessarily you have to understand which bank you're going to use. Obviously, you're not going to use a bank that lets themselves go in there and have their screens change or something for some type of person who can manipulate the technology of it to work with the money behind it to mess up on the numbers. That's what I'm saying. So this aspect is that you have to work with, in the same regards, you're not going to work with a blockchain that doesn't make sense, logical sense, or doesn't seem like they have it together, or the technology. But when you look at the technology of Bitcoin, and it's immutable, it can't be tampered with. So that's the thing here. And the immutability of Tron TRX, it can't be tampered with. Ethereum can't be tampered with. EOS can't be. Let's not talk about EOS. Neo can't be tampered with. Neo's scaling. These aspects that allows that the numbers, once a block is moving, once it's been encrypted from binary code is the core foundation of what is at the base. It's zeros and ones, zeros and ones, 0 and 1, 0 and 1, and a certain encryption within those zeros and ones that all form back together and then build the foundational blocks of an actual hashed block. This is what we call a transaction. A transaction is TX. It's that binary code that's been kind of melded together into a hash rate of data. And the hash rate of data is then moved into another chain of networks of the nodes, decentralized nodes, and even centralized institutions can run nodes and be incentivized to run nodes like Tron and run the blockchain. It's a financial, because it's utilizing the asset that we as developers need, we as gamers need, institutional people need, decentralized applications need, mobile wallets can use, that businesses, development businesses already have built. I'm going to go through them. I'm going to go through them on this show. I'm going to go through that, showing you how we use a secure wallet. You're not using some wallets that, because you're not going to use a wallet that you've never heard of, or some sort of download thing that says you can use your bank funds on here, but you never heard of it. That's weird. But you're definitely going to use PayPal, right? You're going to use PayPal. You're going to use the secure app download of Apple or Android, Google, for PayPal, for your bank apps. No different for your Bitcoin wallets, your cryptocurrency wallets. I'm going to show you about those, the secure ones, right? So, virtual worlds, RPG, assets, they're blockchain, gamified, creatures. Remember Tamagotchi? I remember Tamagotchi. I love Tamagotchi, right? I still see that my children use Tamagotchi. Makes sense, right? These make sense. When you see institutional use, we have to look at business use case of technology and who's going to use them. We're going to use them because they're fun, right? That makes logical sense. We want to have fun. People are relaxing. They do what they want to do, but then they have their own niche interests. I like jiu-jitsu. You like playing Aggies. We both are institutionally involved in what we niche are invested in within ourselves, that we feel good within our health about what we're doing. So that's what we're talking about here. Thanks for joining on TRON Live News. It's always great to have you in this sphere. We're going to talk about things, and also, when I'm saying crypto and proud, they have that great apparel up there. We'll go through it. We got some TRON mugs, other things. Maybe we should start wearing the bling bling, huh? Maybe we should start wearing it. Put the book down. Right? All sorts of things. I'm not sure if you can actually find these. Not sure if you can find one of those. I traveled far and wide for one of those. Not far enough. Maybe I can travel farther soon yet. But different apparel. And I also will certainly be giving away great apparel on here. So here on D Live, squeeze the lemon. Squeeze the lemon. Whatever you'd like, I will squeeze lemons back all over the platform. Drops and airdrops. I'll also give out TRX. I will give out TRON apparel. Help us go to 1,000 followers. I will give out Ledger Nanos, that referrals of great secure wallets. I'd like to see this Lino go onto the mainnet. Let's see what happens in the Lino mainnet, and putting that in an aspect where you see things like that. Oh, cool. Look at that. I do have music playing. See, when I'm on this side, I got the music playing. I don't have the backdrop. I can program the backdrop in, and put it behind the main wall of like our web pages that we were looking at over there. Put it behind there and still play some music in the background. So we can start to turn this up a bit, right? Start to turn this up a bit. I hope you have a great, kind, safe day. Go out, walk outside, breathe kind, great air, drink good water, have good cryptos, hang out with me. I'm going to give you all the secured things, the safe things, technology-wise, because it's what we're talking about here. We're talking about technology. When you're going to deal with the technology, take it seriously, take it in institutionally, take it as a professional aspect of what you're safely working with. So let's go through some games. We're going to learn more games. We're going to talk about, I have more games to even show you. That's what I showed you just then, was just like this little type of like, oh, I just saw this little thing floating in the ocean somewhere, you know. I thought it was like a tip of the iceberg, you know, but that thing is massive. We're going to show you a massive amount of blockchain based NFT games. Non-fungible tokens means that it is immutably, you own that. You own that, you know. If you want to travel somewhere with it, send it wherever you want. You know, you don't have to wait till you're back on your Xbox with that, you know, with whatever you're playing with. We'd love to see it on the Xbox, or that you can take, you know, those sorts of games mobilely, the assets mobilely, and trade them with your friends. Cheers, everyone. And we're going to talk about all sorts of financial technologies all over the global world. What's going on with blockchain, finance, fintech, gaming. Cheers, everyone. Stay smart, stay clean, keep your mind bright, and water, and love yourself always, always, always. Ciao, ciao. Cheers. God bless.